How did you process yesterday's news, and how is Jamal doing mentally?
I knew before yesterday, so it's been an emotional, I don't know, 24, 36 hours, whatever it is. For Jamal, most importantly, Jamal's devastated, understandably so. I think the team is also a little, we understand the importance of Jamal Murray. We're a better team when Jamal is healthy. That's not a knock on anyone. But 21 points a game, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 48% from the field, 41 from 3, 87 from the foul line, 1.3 steals. He's like almost second in every major category on our team behind Nikola. That's my message to our group. As bad as we feel for Jamal, we have 18 games to go, Mike, and we have to find a way to kind of collect ourselves and understand the opportunity we have in front of us. We're 4th place in the Western Conference. We have had the Golden State game was not a great game for us. The last 14 minutes of the Boston game was obviously one of the worst 14 minutes of basketball the Nuggets have played in the last 6 years. So how do we kind of regroup, collect ourselves, collect our emotions, and move forward? And not one guy on our team can replace Jamal. It's going to take a collective effort, and we need everybody's best. Right now, we need everybody's best moving forward, and that's our hope starting tonight against Miami.
Next, we'll go to Katie Wingy.
Hey, Coach. Has Jamal talked to the team at all? Has he said anything to the guys or collectively talked to you guys as a group? I'm sure you and him have had conversations, but you said he's devastated. What has he said to the team?
Yeah, I think right now, Katie, it's probably just been a lot more of just individual conversations or small groups within the locker room, on the plane, on the bus, in the training room, whatever it might be. It was really hard. We stayed over that game in San Francisco, and just sitting with him on the way to the airport, and just, your heart breaks because you could see the raw emotion that he was feeling. And, I've never had an injury like that. And I think probably that the hardest part of it is trying to comprehend and get a hold of what's in front of you from a rehab standpoint. And, there are guys, 9 to 12 months I'm not a doctor, but usually here between 9 and 12 months recovery from an ACL injury. And I'm just trying to shower Jamal with support and love and positivity, because it can really set you back a little bit. And I think his teammates are doing the same. We love him. We have his back, and we're going to help him, walk this walk in the next year. And I have no doubt that he will come back a better player, a stronger player. And, this is how he's made. That's in his DNA. I expect nothing less.
Next, we'll go to Adam Morris.
Hey, Michael, with 18 games to go, how much do you feel that the team needs to sort of retain the identity that's already been established? And to what extent does the team maybe need to discover a new identity now, missing such a big piece?
Yeah, I don't know about creating a new identity at this point. It's hard to do, Adam, because, this is our 7th game in 11 days. You can see the fatigue on our players. You can see it in their bodies, their body language. In our last 10 games, for example, we're 8-2. The 8 wins in a row, I think we were first and second in field goal percentage and 3-point percentage. In our last 2 losses, I think we're 28th and 29th in field goal and 3-point percentage. And that's a direct indicator of how tired our guys are. But we don't have practice time. So it's kind of hard to say we're going to completely change our identity. So roles will change, obviously. And, we talked about that, and how I don't want one person thinking they have to be Jamal Murray. No, that's not the case. I think it's going to be by committee. Nikola is still the focal point of everything we do. And now we're missing, obviously, our other player who was phenomenal last season in the playoffs and so far this year. And it's just an opportunity in adverse times for somebody else to step up. And we've seen that from this group in my 6 years, time and time again.
Next, we'll go to Pat Graham.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, so I know you can't comment on reports and maybe Austin Rivers or anything like that. My question to you is, how difficult is it to integrate a new piece if you brought someone in at this juncture of the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's 18 games to go, and there's not a lot of practice time because it seems like we play every day, every other day, and so it makes it challenging, to bring anybody in at this point. But same thing when we brought in Aaron Gordon and JaVale McGee, and obviously we had a 5 or 6, 7 game honeymoon period with that where things were great, and kind of the excitement has worn off and we're kind of coming back down to earth. So it's a challenge, but I give Tim Connolly credit. I think he and his staff are always looking at opportunities, for us to potentially help ourselves. So if we were to bring somebody in, our team, the coaching staff would do everything in our power to make sure that that player was adjusted as quickly as possible.
Next, we'll go to Mark Medina.
Hi, Michael. Good to see you. And hope you're hanging in there through everything here.
Thank you.
What leadership qualities has Nikola shown through the ups and downs of the season and, in moments like this?
Well, I mean, that's one area where I think he continues to really grow, is being a leader, is his maturity, is handling adversity. And I think that's probably his greatest challenge right now. Like, I think lately, and I've talked to him about this and I've tried to help him with this in my conversations with the referees and the league. But I really think lately he's allowing, that frustration of the whistle to really get to him. And it's understandable. I mean, I understand and can appreciate, but now with no Jamal and 18 games to go, as I mentioned earlier, we need the best version of everybody, but especially Nikola. He's got to be the guy that kind of rights the ship, puts a team on his back, because that's what MVPs do. And in my humble opinion, I think he is the MVP this season. So it's going to be really interesting to see how do we react to an emotional loss to a teammate that we care about deeply. And Nikola, because he's that great of a player and has that leadership qualities within him, I expect him to be able to understand that and start, handling these situations in a manner that he's shown he can do many times before. So that's going to be a terrific opportunity to handle a really difficult situation for Nikola and all of his teammates. It's not just on him, but it starts with him.
All right, we have time for one more. We'll end with John Crotty, Heat Television.
Hey, thank you. Hey, Mike. Good to see you. So without getting into necessarily who you're going to insert and play, can you give us a little bit of your feedback on what you see as the positives with Monte Morris and maybe Facundo Campazzo of, the elements they bring to your team and can help with Murray out?
Yeah, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, John, it's not going to be on just Monte or Facu to replace Jamal. I mean, Jamal was just so valuable in so many different areas. But we finally have moved. Monte Morris was under a minute restriction, and that's been increased, which is helpful with no Jamal Murray. And Monte is a guy that runs his team. Obviously, the thing that jumps off the stat sheets with Monte is always his ability to value the ball at a high level and make his teammates better. And his three-point shooting, I think he's put so much time into that. He's becoming much more of a consistent three-point threat, where if you want to help off of him, he's going to make you pay. As far as Facu, I mean, just the toughness, the defense, the intensity, the playmaking. He went through a tough stretch of making threes, but lately he's been shooting the ball lights out. And I just want those guys to be themselves. Don't go out there to try to be something you're not. Be true to yourself and just bring it every single night. Play hard, compete, play with discipline, play with effort, and play on both ends of the floor. And if they do that, then we're going to have a chance to weather the storm without Jamal. And PJ Dozier is the last guy that I throw into that group. PJ is a jack of all trades. He can play the 1, 2, 3. Sometimes he'll play the 4 in a small ball game. I think PJ is going to get an opportunity to play as well, and I think he can help this situation out on top of Facu and Monte.
Thanks a lot.
That'll do it. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.